All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a full Friday. That is August 12th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are watching on a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. You want to follow the top pickers each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. In fact, let's take a look at our top scorers right now. And we got Billy Bob. Billy Bob, 93,699, still our leader at 891. That's an impressive score from Billy Bob right there. In fact, let me take a look when you click on the number right here. Yeah, you can see why Billy Bob has a good score. He is 11-0 in confidence picks of 63 to 100%. So good job, Billy Bob, 93,699. There's Mags. Mags had a pretty good day yesterday. I saw the early games. He had a lot of underdogs. So Mags, Dom did a good job. Dom also a good guy from Montreal. And 868 is his score. And Gas House Gang, Patrick Klein, is at 854. And I see my good friend Eddie from Montreal. A lot of guys from Montreal on this channel. Love it. Montreal is a great city, especially in the summer when you're walking down St. Catherine and having a nice coffee and maybe a croissant, and you're going up and down the strip and enjoying the beautiful light, either the daytime or the nightlife of Montreal. Montreal is a great city. All right, so those are your leaders right now at bullpenpicks.com. Let's take a look at our most followed. And let's see how our good friend Eddie O did from Montreal. 10-5, so did I. Ron Raymond right here, 10-5. Dom went 10-5. And you know what? It's because all the favorites are winning. Exo Volvo, also, no, he didn't play yesterday. Ed, our good friend Mus there, went 12-3. So you can see there's a lot of great pickers right here at bullpenpicks.com. And again, anybody can play, anybody can join. Just head on over to bullpenpicks.com. And the great thing about this website, the incentive, is follow other winners, right? Each and every day when you go to Bullpen, make your selections, and I will make my picks at the end of the show. So if you watch the show and you want to know who I like today, you can see it right after we do our show here. All right, speaking of the show, let's also, if you're a CFL fan, we do have our CFL picks locked and loaded right here. I got a YouTube podcast for CFL week number 2 that's up on our show. Our horse racing tips, I love, when you think of sports betting, right, you got to go right to the roots of where it all started. And to me, I think it's horse racing. That's where it started for me. When I was younger, just going to the track, and that's where I got the bug of betting on horses and then betting. But I think it all starts at the track, right? And there's always a guy named Vinny at the track who's got his velvet suit and his cigar. That's the guy who's got his rolled up newspaper. That's the guy you want to sit beside at the track because he's got some pretty good information, right? The old velvet suits, the old track suits. All right, speaking of track suits, let's go to Saratoga. And why not give you a free pick here today? In race number 1 at Saratoga for August 12th. $85,000 maiden special weight race. 105 post time today at Saratoga. Let's go 7-2-1 in race number 1 today at Saratoga. And we're going to go hoo-hoo, that's me. Vasquez taking a ride on hoo-hoo. Woohoo, that's me. And I love the names you get with these horses, right? Give me the money, Irad Ortiz Jr. If you've bet Irad a lot, you're making a lot of money betting Irad. Aggregation with Irad's younger brother, Jose Ortiz. I don't know if he's younger or older, but I know they're from the same families. And the Joker's Wild selection today is the 5-horse Juggler with my guy, Luis Saez, taking a ride here on Juggler, the number 5-horse. Again, folks, welcome to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond. I am a 5-time sports handicapping champion. I've been doing this since 1996. If you go to the website, atsstats.com, and you look in the right-hand menu, these are all the sites that I've created in the process of my career, including the World Series of Handicapping Pro Football Contest, season number 10. We're going in season number 10. It's one of the most consistent handicappings out there if you like football. I know there's a couple out there also that are online, but we're going in season number 10. It's easy to join. It's $25. You pick 7 games a week. You rate those picks 7 units to 1 unit, and the player with the most units wins the ring, wins $1,500 in cash. And if you go 7-0 anytime during the week, you get $50 cash. So pretty good contest, and you can get it at worldseriesofhandicapping.com. All right. Always like to start the show with a little plug to the sites and a little horse racing. And there's Ryan McGee. Hit a nice 3-team parlay last night. Brewers, Blue Jays, and Mariners. Ryan did. Good job, Ryan. And you know what? I think if a lot of people are hitting these parlays right now because the favorites. And let's get to the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. And folks, the approach I take to sports betting now is the same approach you do stock market. You have to have your finger on the pulse. What's coming in the market? Think like a bookmaker, like my good friend Ross Benjamin says all the time, because what goes up must come down. And I'll tell you, with all the favorites coming in baseball right now, you got to be hesitant being a baseball bettor, right? Because at what pace is this going to continue at? If you look at the 7-day average, 75.3% of the favorites in baseball have cashed a ticket the last week. That is, that's something you don't see very much every day. In fact, look at that. The favorites. I mentioned this last week. Double-digit favorites in the last 8 days. 6 of the last 8 days, you got double-digit favorites. So if you are betting baseball today, I'm telling you, like I said last time, I'll use one of my old French expressions, slack la pédale. Slack la pédale. And what that means in French is take your foot off the pedal a bit, because you just don't know what's going to happen, right? With all these favorites winning at a high rate, and now we're going into Thursday, so you got some series finishing on that 4th game series, 3rd game series, and then you're starting new series, the Field of Dreams series today. I got a great system play for that. Oh, speaking of the system play, how did you like those system plays last night? Even though we didn't cash on the over in Colorado, Houston, we did win with the Oakland. Need a little help there in the little sweated out there in the 8th inning, but they got the job done. And another sweat job in Seattle, 2-1. So the system plays went 2-1 yesterday. Hopefully you guys were able to cash in on that. And again, if you are new to the Raymond Report, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. So this way, I go live now. I'm gonna go, since we're in the dog days. We're finishing the dog days of summer, and we're going right into college football, NFL starting tonight. I'll give a free pick here later on. But subscribe to our channel, so this way, whenever we go live, or I go live, hey, I'm talking like ESPN or something. I got 50 other co-workers here, right? Anytime I go live, you'll get the notification on your phone on YouTube, hopefully. But you got to turn those notifications on, right? If you don't turn those notifications on, I know YouTube did this a few years ago. So this way, whenever I go live, you'll get notified. And again, more chatter we have in the bullpen, more feedback I get in the chat box, then the better the show gets, right? This show, it's not about me. It has to be about us, right? I went to, I'm a football coach, right? And I went to a clinic once about 7 years ago, and there was a really good football coach up in the Saskatchewan. Sargent, I think it was named. Saskatoon Hilltops. So a little shout out to my guys in Saskatchewan. I know you guys, the Hilltoppers, are one of the best football programs. And they have I think he said he had it on his wall or something. It starts with you and it ends with us. And that's the way I feel about this show, right? It starts with you and it ends with us. And that's why this show is, if we want to take it to the next level, it has to be about the community and sharing information. And hopefully we can do that. There's Cheeks. Good morning, Cheeks. I see Isaiah Moore's in the house. Stadler's in the house. Ryan McGee, my good buddy Eddie. So again, roll call. So every morning when we do these shows, just come on in, come in the chat box, say, hey, I'm here, I'm listening. How you doing? Sit back, relax, have a coffee. Too early for beer, unless you're living in Europe somewhere or Portugal, like our good friend Rui there in Portugal. And my brother-in-law is named Rui too. And so let's talk about the show. So again, favorites, right? Now, the one thing betting favorites is eventually the cash cow is going to stop for a while, right? The run the favorites are on. Look at the last 2 days, 24-7 to the favorites, and if you look at the last 3 days, let me scroll up here, 77%. That's just ridiculous. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scale back my selections here today. I'm not going to keep, I'm still going to bet my games, but I'm going to scale back my units. I'm not going to be betting 5 units like I normally do. I'll probably scale back to 3 units until we get back to a neutral market. And the way I present this to my clients is this. If you're buying stocks and you're on a, say a 5-day run, or even if you're buying cryptocurrency, if like say Bitcoin is going up every day, are you going to continue buying Bitcoin? No, you're just going to probably hold or hodl, as they say, and just wait until there's a dip, right? So there's the old expression, you buy low, sell high, but right now we're pretty high. So if you are buying right now, you're buying, keep in mind, you're buying, and in sports betting, the way I compare it to the stock market, I'm buying low, selling high. Anytime the favorites are in the streak like this and you get these winning streaks, that's what I call the high market, right? You're at the top of the peak of the market, and it's not a good time unless you're betting underdogs. Now, if you're betting underdogs, that's a different story, because we're very bullish in favorites. But when you're looking at the underdogs, now now you got to flip the quarter around and say, you know what, maybe this is a great opportunity buying into the underdogs, right? Maybe it's an underdog market eventually, because a reversal does have to happen eventually, right? There's Jermaine Brown. How you doing, Jermaine? Buying chalk. Isaiah says he likes to buy chalk. Yeah, you can buy chalk, and but again, it just this is like waiting for the shoe to fall, right? You just at what time, at what day, or is this the favorites are going to collapse a bit, right? And just a little pullback, right? A little pullback here on the favorites. So if anything today, guys, the word of the day is cautious. Be cautious on what you are you're betting into, and maybe instead of going crazy, you bet a couple of games, right? Because you don't want to be sitting there at the end of the night going, man, why did I get too greedy? And that's the name of the game, right? The game. If you watch my sports betting tips, and I know I'm going on another Ron Raymond rant right here, but it is what it is, right? If you watch my sports betting tips, I got a video on sports investor and action junkie, and that's what you got to determine. If you're an action junkie or a sports better investor, which one are you? If you're an action junkie, you're going to be betting until the cows come home, right? You don't care. You're just going to bet and do what you ever do. But you got to be careful and use proper money management and discipline, right? You got to be disciplined. I'm just saying that's the market. Yeah, no, we are in the market. We are in the market of favorites. Isaiah's saying, he goes, I'm just saying that's the market. And the market right now is telling us that we're really hot. We're really hot for favorites. So if anything today, guys, just be careful betting the baseball, because we are in a hot market. All right, let's kick it off with game number one. Let's go to Washington against the New York Mets. Now, man, talk about a series that just, it's hard to keep track. Even my stats are all out of whack because they keep changing the games. And you got a game that starts on Tuesday, ends on Wednesday. It's hard to keep up with these guys sometimes, right? So let's talk about the Nationals against the New York Mets. Now, it looks like Trevor Williams is going to go against Eric Fedde today. The bookmakers have made the Mets here 195 a favorite. I'm just going to bring up my my outs here that I use just so I can always compare the line. So this way, I always like to give the most up-to-date line every time I'm doing these shows. And again, folks, if you're watching for the first time, don't be scared. Come in the bullpen, say hi, how you doing, and let us know you're there. Hey, just like the old Slapshot movie, let them know you're there type thing, right? And share this video on YouTube, or the not on YouTube, but on Twitter or your Facebook. And I always say the more the merrier. The more people we get, makes for a better sports betting community. All right, so looking at this game again, I'm just going to pull up the latest odds on game number one between the Nationals. And, so minus 210 now. So I see minus 210 at Bookmaker. So you can see that the line is jumping all over the place. 6.38 to 4.38. The over-under is set at 10.76. Now, again, doubleheader day. I don't normally touch doubleheaders. It's just there's too many things to handicap. There's too many changes, and it's all over the place, right? But if you look at the last 10 games for the Nationals, 2-8 straight up, 8-1-1 to the over. Where the New York Mets are sliding, right? 3-7, 4-5-1. My line on the game right there at fair market value at 193 and plus 151 on the Washington Nationals. And just take a quick look here at some of the stats and trends. And again, because it's double headers, and not really crazy about these double headers, but I do have a trend on the home favorite, a system. Home favorites coming off a one-run win in their last game, and they're facing an opponent that has a 41-50 win percentage, 52-27 on the season. So that's a pretty good one right there. Home favorites coming off a one-run win this year, facing an opponent with a 41-50% win percentage. Like Washington, the home favorite is 52-27, so that does favor the New York Mets. All right, let's go to game number two. And I see Dell Hallison. I'm doing good lately. Your help, awesome. Hey, I'm glad we can help you there, Dell. 70% of my bets, says Isaiah, are overs. Today I'm on the Jays. Game over. Reds game over. Yeah, I love the Jays last night over. We we knew with Dylan Bundy there that it would take a while for the Blue Jays to get, he started off pretty good in the first couple innings, and then you knew the Blue Jays just, once they get one cycle through the batting order, get to know the pitchers, then you start seeing the bats, the Blue Jays, right? Hey, Toronto's, they're almost like a bit like Cincinnati. You just hang on and you'll see they just start hitting. Stroman is great, but Nate can win. Besides, from yesterday, Mets can't hit the side of a barn, says Jordan Elmore. Yeah, no, speaking of side of a barn, I think Boston woke up yesterday, but we'll get to that game in just a second. All right, so St. Louis taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates now. Pittsburgh was my free play yesterday on the website. Wade LeBlanc going up against JT Brubaker here today. Sounds like a NASCAR driver, eh? JT Brubaker in the number 8 car. And 5-15 for the Pirates when Brubaker goes for Pittsburgh, and 7-13-0. And looking at Wade LeBlanc when he goes for the Cardinals, they're 3-5. The computer forecast is gonna lean with the favorite here. I got a system, so at the end of the show, I'm gonna give you guys 3 of my top systems. And throughout the show here, I do have some system on other games, but I'm keeping the best for last, right? And there's a Jolly Green Records. Hey, how's it going, Raymond? Raymond's doing all right. How you doing, Jolly Green? You think the Red Sox were pissed? Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't want to be the Boston Red Sox today after Tampa Bay just got embarrassed last night. But hey, credit on the Bull Sox getting the job done, and that was a good game for the Boston Red Sox. They needed that. All right, so looking back at today, we got Brubaker against LeBlanc. I do have a system I'm going to share with you guys at the end. It's a really good system. It'll be system number 1 that I share. The line on this game, -118. My line on the game was -125. Now, in the Raymond Report, I always talk about value, percentage play, and the performance cycles, right? Because in today's world of parity sports betting, when you look at games and there's a perception. I always talk about perception versus reality, right? There's a certain perception that's out there in the perception on this game. And one of the exercises you should always do when you are handicapping your game is what is the perception of this game. So when I look at this game and I see St. Louis taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I see the Pirates are 1-9 in their last 10 and they're just struggling, right? I need that Joe Namath soundbite, struggling. They're really struggling. They're 1-9. You got St. Louis 5-5, and what's their record here on the year? I see that they are 57 and 56. So just to confirm here, 57 and 56 on the season. So you got a 500 ball club here going to play it's almost as if they're playing out the season, right? 7-game losing streak. So the perception is that this is going to be maybe a woodshed game, right? We take the team beyond the woodshed and just give it to her here. But I don't know. The forecast does lean towards St. Louis here, 4.48 to 4.1. The over-under is at 8.66. You got a team in St. Louis who are 25-31 on the year on the road, and then Pittsburgh 23-31. Let's take a look, see if we have any trends pointing any way here. Looking for indicators, right? So anytime I do this, I'm looking for indicators. Here's an indicator pointing towards the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals on the road this season face an opponent with a 31 to 40% win percentage, 7-3 straight up on the season. So pretty good indicator right there. And the price is right, -118. And Pittsburgh only 4-3 the last 30 days on the road, and the third game of a series this year, 6-9. So Pittsburgh won the first. St. Louis won the first 2 games of the series. Now, do we want to trust a B-type team like the St. Louis Cardinals to get the clean sweep here today? Keep in mind, though, Pittsburgh is, they're in a tough stretch here trying to end out the season. Pittsburgh 1-7 on Thursday games, 4-17 against division opponents. Yeah, this I got to lean with the St. Louis Cardinals. But I say I'm going to lean with the Cardinals here. But again, the thing that worries me here is that do we expect St. Louis to really sweep the series here against the Bucks? You might get a more motivated Pittsburgh team here. And Brubaker, let me take a look at Brubaker's numbers here. 4-11 on the year, 4.95 ERA. And let's take a look at his home record this season. At home, 3.65 ERA, so a bit of Jekyll and Hyde. 6.05 ERA on the road. But so I do have a system I'm going to share with you guys in just a few seconds. I see that Jordan says Pirates are a good look today. LeBlanc has been leaving lots of guys on base recently. They get well plated eventually. And that's what I'm saying, right? And we're in a favorite heavy market right now. And these type of games scare me, right? These are the type of games, maybe, 2 out of 3 times I bet this game, and maybe this is the day. And again, the word of the day today, guys, is cautious on favorites, right? If you like favorites, you got to be careful because the way the favorites are just cashing in right now, you just got to be very careful. Pirates aren't great against left-handed pitchers, though. Let me take a look at that. So I'll just go to my database. Good old faithful right here. Let's go to Pittsburgh Pirates. And let's take a look how they do against Southpaws this year. There's the old lefty right there. And we'll go current season. And let's see how the Bucks do against 13-24 against Southpaws. And let's see how they do at home against lefties. 6-10, 9-5-2 to the over. Again, maybe the over is where you want to lean that one. All right, let's go to the Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, this is going to be a 105 pitch. Today, you got still undecided. I don't see any starters yet for the LA Dodgers. In fact, I'm seeing, there's really not a confirmed pitcher. Maybe you guys know. You can throw it right there in the bullpen. I'll just go to the Rain Report here on this game. And in the meantime, there's old Chad. How you doing, Chad? Isaiah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Maybe an over for this game. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the over is where you want to go in that game between the Bucks and the Cards. All-time wins. Pittsburgh has more wins. Since favors are winning, the over should be live. You know what? And that's the thing we talked about at the beginning of the show, right? If you're going to bet today, maybe look at totals, right? And you just, you glance. Just give it a soft, a respectful glance to the favorites, right? When you're doing your handicapping. All right, looking at the computer pick here, we got the Dodgers minus 135, and the over/under is set at 10.5, and I see 140 at bookmaker. ATS forecast based only on 3 games though, 4.5 to 3. The over/under at 7.5. Now, when I look, I'll do this at every game. Perception versus reality. Right? What's the perception going into this game? The perception is, the Dodgers are, the top, one of the top teams in the leagues. Phillies, if you look at their record on the year, I'm seeing 59-55. Just going to confirm here with 59-55 on the season. So the Phillies, it's the bullpen that really scares me, right? The bullpen, and they seem to hit in bunches. They'll be good for like 3, 4, 5 games, and then they disappear, right? They're 8-2 in their last 10, and they're bad luck. They ran into the LA Dodgers this weekend, and when they're at home against those B-type teams. So let me see here. The LA's an A-type team. So LA's 7-6 against the B-type teams, and for the Phillies, they're 3-6 against those A-type teams at home, right? So this is what I'm saying right here. This record, and let me see what the record for the LA Dodgers, the percentage record on the season. I just want to see their percentage, 60%. So 60.5. So when I go to the database, and this is what I'm talking about here. Let's go to Philadelphia, and they're any team against a team with a 61% or higher. Let me see, like the top teams, 7-8, which is respectful, right? Pretty respectful right there. And if you go 51 to 60%, 14-13. So just like their record, 9-17-1 to the under. Maybe the under, again, just being cautious of all the favorites here today. 4.5 to 3, but the Dodgers, they're on a 4-game win streak. They're probably going to go for the juggler today, get that sweep. And who are the Dodgers? The Dodgers have the New York Mets on deck, and Philly got Cincinnati at home, right? So Dodgers, I don't think the Mets are a big look-ahead situation, even though maybe the Yankees would have been. But the Dodgers, look at that, 33-23 on the year as a road favorite. I do like the Dodgers. In fact, I got a system I want to share with you guys. Road favorites in the last 3 years. So think about this. Road favorites the last 3 years on a 4-game win streak, which LA Dodgers are on a 4-game win streak, and they scored exactly 8 runs in their last game. And Dodgers coming off 8-2 victory. They are 11-5 the last 3 years. Only 16 occurrences, but again, the Dodgers right now just going out on a good tear right now. So give me the LA Dodgers here today. I do like the Dodgers, even though I don't know the pitchers yet. But you know what? The bookmaker has 135, and it'd be different. If it was like a Mad Max pitching or something like that, Julio Urias. But I'm seeing it might be Mitch White. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, there's Ryan McGee. How you doing, Ryan? Francis and Yap. How you doing, Francis? Jolly Green record. I heard it's White pitching for the Dodgers from the bullpen. Yeah, and this is where you're going to see this time of year, right? You're going to see when we get to the fourth and fifth pitcher in the rotation, and we're getting at that time of year, you're getting the dead arms. So you're going to start seeing some of these starting pitchers just going in, getting maybe 4-5 innings per start, especially these top contender teams. You're going to start seeing that with some of the, rest some of their arms, right? Especially in September. All right, let me see here. Any questions that I missed? Nope. All right, so I do like the Dodgers here today. I gave you a pretty good system on that one right there. All right, I do have another system on this game here between Oakland and Cleveland. Now, one of my system plays yesterday was on the Oakland A's. In fact, if I look at back of the system, it was, let me see here, Oakland. It was against, remember it was the system. Now the thing with systems, it doesn't have to be in the team that you're really betting. It could be the team that you're facing, right? And we had a go against system against Cleveland yesterday. And the go against system was any home dogs face an opponent with a 51% to 60% win percentage coming off a 1-run loss in their last game. And it was the second game of the series. 0-11 straight up. So a nice win yesterday on the system that we did have the Oakland Athletics. Now I do have another system here today on the road favorite, and I'll get to that in just 1 second. Now the starting pitcher for the Oakland A's today is Chris Bassett, and he's going up against Eli Morgan. In fact, you know what? I've been looking at Eli Morgan the last couple of starts, and I thought he's been pitching a lot better lately in his last few starts. Yeah, see, look at that. At Detroit, he went 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. Even though the ERA is a bit high at 6.09, but he's given you innings. He's been a workhorse in his last since June 17th. Every start has been 5 innings or more. So again, keeping with the theme of the day, caution. I think the under is where you want to lean in this one. I think the total of going under today. And the one thing with streaks, and anybody who knows me and been following the show, I got a rule of thumb, right? Anytime you get to 3-game win streak, you can talk me in or out of it. Once you get on a 4-game win streak, hold the rope, get on the bus, enjoy the ride, right? Because when a team gets streaky, especially in baseball, right? You see it. You play 162 games. Streaks are going to happen. And again, I did a video on streaks, and we talked about it yesterday. That 4-game win streak, that's one you got to be cautious about. But then once you get to 5 and on, then you just enjoy the ride, right? Because if you've been riding their streak, you've been money, so you're playing with house money. But Oakland now on a 6-game win streak. They are 14-8 on the road against team below 500. The computer forecast going to lean with the A's again, 4.5 to 3.7. The over-under at 8.23, and that's based on 16 games in the system. So every time you're looking at the Raymond Report and you're wondering, where does he get his stats and based on what? It's all based on coming off situations of both teams. And we factor in how many games and all that, and I got a formula, and that's where we get the computer forecast, right? And it's mostly based on averages, right? Average scores of previous games coming off, say, a 1-run win or something like that, and then we go get those records. And we got 4.5 to 3.7, the over-under at 8.23. And looking at Chris Bassett starts this year, 15-7 for the A's when he starts, 9-13 to the under. Oakland 8-2 in their last 10. My line on the game, I had the A's at minus 185, and I had the Cleveland Indians at plus 128. So you can see you're getting good value here if you do like Cleveland. But be careful if you're betting on the Cleveland Indians. You're running into a buzzsaw. But I do have a nice system on the under. Any road favorites coming off a 3-run win in their last game, and they're facing an opponent with a 41 to 50 win percentage. The under is 5-12-3 this year. So if you do like the under in this game here today, guys, that's a pretty solid system. In fact, let me take a look at some of my other stats down here. Look at that. Look at all the unders here, the edges favoring the under here. But what's the Kogo at? The chance of the game going over the total? It is at, let me see here, Kogo, where are you? 58%. Yeah, a little high to the over, but I think the under is where you want to lean in this one. In fact, when I take a look at some of the numbers, so the Oakland A's, when they're coming off 2 unders, the under is 6-1 in their next game. Look at that. For the Oakland Athletics, when they're coming off a win on the road, 8-21-1 to the under. So that's pretty solid right there. That is very solid. And let me see if there's any other systems. So, yeah, we'll leave it on. That's always drop the mic on that one, right? Leave on a high note in that one. All right, any questions before we get going here, guys? There's Eric Jones. How you doing, Eric? Cleveland wins tonight, he says. Blake Atwood. Who is Mitch White? Yeah, that's the $64 million question. Jordan Elmore, offense and pitching both favor Oakland, but too much chalk. And that's what I'm saying, right? We're in a heavy chalk market right now for favorites. We're in a bullish market for favorites, so you got to be careful when you are betting the favorites right now. All right, let's go to game number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between Milwaukee and the Chicago Cubs. You got the burly right-hander here, Brandon Woodruff, going up against Chicago Cubs' Kyle Hendricks. Now, pretty good pitching matchup. And when I saw this matchup, I went to my database and I said, you know what? What is Brandon Woodruff's record against the Cubbies lifetime? And not a bad record. 7-3 straight up, 8-2 to the under. So if you're thinking about Brandon Woodruff, and it's too bad the Cubs like the Pirates right now, right? They're easy to pick on. But I'm not laying $200 on Milwaukee. Again, if you're gonna bet this one, I think the total is where you are looking at. And there's Kazi Chief Gang. How you doing, Kazi? Thanks for the shout out. Isaiah bet the over first 5 run line. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people. I'm not a big first half run line guy, but the more I see, anytime I get into those type of I call that prop betting or specialized betting, I got to have resources or something. I can't just throw a dart, flip a quarter type thing, right? I got to have reasoning behind it. So I need resources if I'm ever going to do those types of betting. But I'm still haven't bet any of the run lines. Believe it or not, been doing this for 24 years, and I'm very, you can ask my wife, I'm very routine oriented, and it's really hard to break my habits and start venturing into like halftime betting or, first 5 and stuff like that. Then to me, if I do it, it's as if I'm doing it blindly, right? I need good information doing that. Now, looking at Kyle Hendricks going for the Cubbies, they're 16-8 in his starts. And when I look at Kyle Hendricks, you feel bad for these veteran pitchers on, rebuilding teams. Hendricks, though, the bright light for the Cubs, right? 13-4 straight up on the year, his record. 3.68 ERA. And Brandon Woodruff, 7-6, 2.23 ERA. And, they are looking pretty good right now. And looking at Kyle Hendricks in his last start, went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 7 Ks. So there was one of his season high. What's his season high in Ks is 8 against Detroit, but pretty good. But 3 walks in his last. In fact, you look at his last 3 starts, he's got 6 walks. So something to consider. You don't like to see a lot of walks when you're betting on a pitcher right there. But let me take a look at Milwaukee. 3.91 to 3.79. The over/under is at 7.7. That's based out of 89 previous games in the database. First pitch today at Wrigley is 2:20. Cubbies are 1-9 in their last 10, and the Brew Crew 7-3 in their last 10. 3-game win streak. Chicago on a 7-game losing streak, and I don't have any systems on this game. The one thing I got to respect with Milwaukee is that road record. Look at that, 37-19. That is pretty solid right there. All right, let's see what some of the bullpen guys are saying. And again, if you are new to the Raymond Report, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy the show, hit the likes. And don't forget to share this on your Twitter or Instagram or wherever you guys are on social media. The more the merrier. And the better information that's out there and the more we share, I think it just makes the show better, right? At the end of the day, it's about the show. It's about quality information. So this way, when you step up to the window, you want to walk out a winner at the end of the night, right? So Justin Smith is saying, I'm liking Oakland tonight to win tonight. Yeah, Oakland. Yeah. What's the price? 174. The over/under 9.5. I'd like the under a little bit better there, Justice. But I do like Oakland in that one. Anyone like NRFI for the Dodgers? What does NRFI mean? You're gonna have to fill me in on that one there, Justin. Cubs lost 7 in a row, and Milwaukee have won 8 wins against the Cubs in a row. Yeah, they did. Cubbies and Bucks, those are hard teams to bet on right now, right? Run lines are great and are getting past the chalk. Justin, the under for the game. I like to stay away from that game, though. Thanks, Justin. I agree. All right, so let's take a look here. Maybe we got a total. We can 8-3 and 1 to the over for Milwaukee when they're coming off a road win as a favorite. 10-4. coming off a win over a National Central Division opponent. The over 8-2 for Milwaukee the last 30 days. Look at the Milwaukee's road record the last 45 days, 15-4. Man, you know, I picked, if you watched the show at the beginning of the year, I picked Milwaukee to win that division. I'm looking pretty good right now. In fact, they are 8 games above in first place in the Central. So that selection is looking pretty good. And let's see for the Cubbies. Yeah, no edges right here. 12-5-2 to the over the last 45 days at Wrigley. And I think the wind is blowing out here tonight. 8 miles an hour wind. It was 16 miles an hour yesterday, but 86 degrees and 1% rain. So we should get a good night tonight at Wrigley Field. All right, let's go to the next game between Detroit and Baltimore. Had Detroit in that game last night. Had Baltimore the night before. Man, kicking myself a bit on that one. But hey, you got to wait for those reversals, right? And I thought eventually these underdogs will start kicking in. And one thing I like to do, whenever I print out my tip sheets, and I do this for every team. So let's say, for example, this game tonight. So Detroit is the home road underdog. So what I'll do in my database, I'll show you what I do. If you're a member of ATS Stats, this is what I do, and it's you know, when you're handicapping, you need that first domino to fall, right? It's something where you lead you off into your handicapping. This is one thing I would recommend you do. So let's say I'll do the Detroit game. So Detroit is an away underdog, and they're coming off a 3-run win in their last game. So let's go take a look at this. They're coming off a 3-run win this season. Now, I'm using this season because it involves all the players in the current league in the season, right? Because, you know, last season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons, different players, different environment. It's not the same, right? From a macro point of view, I want everything in one season, right? So let's take a look at the record for the away underdogs. 29-34, 32, 26-5. And the reason why I do this is because it gives me a lean on what all the previous teams in the league have done when they are exactly in this situation tonight. So when I look at, for example, Baltimore, they're a home favorite, and they're coming off a 3-run loss. So it was 5-2. What is the home favorite? It's not just Baltimore now. Now this is every team that's been a home favorite this year, coming off a 3-run loss, 37-30. So this here. Favorite, home favorite, 30, and you got John Means going today, 34-20. And if you want to really, just like directories in your MS-DOS or whatever. So let's bring that down to home favorites of minus 140. What's it? 120 to 140. So we give it a range, right? And look at that, 9-9, 7-10-1. But it gives you an indication on what you should be looking at, and maybe gives you a lean on, you know, you need a starting point, right? So this could be one of your starting points. I've done this, and guys, it really helps me to identify where I should be leaning when I'm doing my handicapping. And even when I got a big underdog, and if I see the underdog on those type of stats are leaning towards a certain way, even though it's like a losing record of, say, 19-21, well, still 19 underdogs won in that type of spot, right? So it gives you a good indicator on and again, there's that word again, right? Indicators. Performance value indicators, and that's what we're looking for when we're doing this. All right, little tip for you guys on the Raymond Report. All right, so let's go to this game. Matt Manning going up against John Means. Now, John Means on the season, you know, we got injured there. He had a no-hitter at the beginning of the year, and then he got injured middle of the way. And 5-3, 2.79 ERA. That, you know, for a team playing on the Baltimore Orioles team with a 2.79 ERA, you got to tip your hat, right? So, yeah, so he got injured. Let me see here. June 5th was his last start before the injury. Then he came back July 20th. And since he's been back, he's had 4 starts. He's only had 1 decision, but his ERA is right there. 2.72, 2.94, 2.8. This guy can pitch. He can just flat out pitch, and he's going to give you innings, right? 5 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings. So looking at today, I do like Baltimore. And, you know, the bookmaker are tipping their hat a bit here, telling you they like him too because they made him a favorite. But look at the forecast, 6.93, 5.88. The over-under at 12.81. But again, you got 2 teams below 500. And you can see when Baltimore's at home against those below 500 teams, they're 9-8 on the year. So I do like Baltimore in this one. I do like Baltimore. What do you guys think? Is Baltimore a good little little play right here for you guys. And again, 37-30 is a home favorite coming off a 3-run loss. I do like that pretty much. Let me see if I got any underdog stats to show you guys. Home favorites this year. If you're wondering what's the record of home favorites this year, 665, 440 favoring the home favorites. Okay, because I know you guys are losing sleep over that at night, just wondering. I wonder what home favorites are doing. Baltimore 7-20 coming off a home loss as an underdog. Not a great stat, but it's just something to to have a stat on. Coming off a left-handed pitcher, 4-17. Not great numbers, right? But my focus would be because it's Baltimore, and I agree with Isaiah there. Probably a pass for me. But again, when we do these shows and then people are just, they want your opinion and they're looking at this game and they're saying, what do you think? If you're going to play this game, I think, I don't even know about the under. I think Baltimore would be the play. All right, let's go to the next game. Tampa Bay against Boston. Man, this was like a football score last night, 20-8. If you're Boston, you feel good, you put 20, but you're also a little concerned. You also allowed 8. Normally when you, if you're Tampa Bay or any other team, you score 8 runs, you normally win those games, right? So that if there's any way to feel good for Tampa Bay, it's like, we got smoked 20 to runs against, but here's the bright side: we got 8 runs last night. But the bad news is you got 20 against, and that's not cool, right? I do have a system favoring the Boston Red Sox in this one. I'm going to share with you in a second. Now -108. This is what I see the line. And let me check with Bookmaker. -1. See, Bookmaker has it at -105. So it does have a pick'em game here. Look at the score: 12.5 to 9. The over/under at 21.5. The Loon says I'm going with the Tigers. Miggy can hit his 500 today. I hope so. You know what, Miggy Cabrera, I would love to see him hit a 500. I would love to see it live too. Tampa Bay 7-3 in their last 10, 3-7. Now Tampa Bay coming off a spanking last night, and when they come off a road loss as an underdog, 3-6. In fact, let me take a look at this. Let's see Tampa Bay. Anytime they've come, let's see if they ever came off a 10 or more run loss. See what their record is. So when Tampa Bay is coming off a 10 runs or more loss, let's see if there's if I got a stat on that. Let's see up here, 10 or more run loss. And let's go the last. I don't think it's this season. I don't think they've lost by 10 this season. We'll see. Maybe they have. 0-1. Yeah, this happened once. But let's see the last 2 years. Let's go to the last 2 years. 0-3. Well, that's not good. That's not good if you like Tampa Bay. Let's do the last. Did I do 3? 1-5 the last 3. And let's go the last 5 years. Tampa Bay. 1-5. In fact, how about since 1996? And 20-42. What about as an away team? 12-25. Yeah, not good numbers if you do like the Tampa Bay Rays today. I do have a system though on the Boston Red Sox. Any home favorites this season, last 3 years. So home favorites the last 3 years, playing the third game of a series, and they're coming off a 10-run or more win. 22-10 to the side. So if you do like Boston here today, guys, that's a pretty solid system. In fact, let me show you that system right here. So let's go home favorites. Third game of a series, and they're coming off a 10-run or more win. It's up here, and more win. And we're going to go the last 3 years. Survey says 22-10, 22-9-1 to the over. That's, you know what? Maybe they just keep on hitting, and we all know Tampa Bay can hit, right? So that, what's the total? 10.5? Yeah, you know what? If you don't like Boston here, I would like the over myself. 10.5. It's -118. So it's if you do like if you like Boston today, you're getting Tanner Young going against Drew Rasmussen. This could be an over game here today, guys. This could be an over game here today between Tampa Bay and the Boston Red Sox. All right, let's go next game. Seattle against. I want to see how long this show has been. 43 minutes. Trying to keep these shows under an hour, so this way I don't keep you hostage here all day, right? Texas taking on Seattle. Mike Fultonevich against Marco Gonzalez. You know, there's always one or two pitchers you see and you say, no matter what, you don't care who they're playing, you're betting the over. to me, that is Foltynewicz. Anytime I see Texas and I see Mike Foltynewicz pitching, my first perception, right? Perception versus reality is I always think of the over. Marco Gonzalez, I've been, the last couple of years, Ross, my buddy Ross Benjamin, always says, man, what's with you and Marco Gonzalez? Yeah, he's been pitching better of late, but you remember the last couple of years, man, he was getting just rocked in those starts, but he's had a pretty good year. 3-5, 4.73 ERA, and if you look at his last couple of starts, now he's last time he had a decision was against Oakland on July 25th. He's been giving a lot of innings, but I think the over in this one is where I'm leaning. In fact, I do have a go against system and a system on Seattle, but I think the over is where you want to lean in this one. Texas, you see minus 215. I'm not laying 215. Over under set at 9. ATS forecast 3.97 to 3.3. The over under at 7.27. That's based on 17 games in the database. 4-6 straight up for Seattle in their last 10. 2-8. Now we all know Seattle. They had that long road trip, right? They were on the road in the East Coast. So taking me, the good news for them is they had Seattle on the first game of the series to come back to play to. So it wasn't like, but they still look at Texas, right? They won the first game 5-4. We needed a Seattle win last night, and this is where if you looked at my if you look at some of the tips that I've had on my video, Ron's top 30 tips, one of them is about biorhythms, right? It's about the human body, the bio clocks, and how a team like Seattle was on the East Coast for like 10 days, and then they go back to the West Coast, and it's never in that moment, right? It's always like it takes a couple of days before you get back to your sleeping patterns, right? Because you're 3 days off. So I'm thinking, Seattle coming back, losing that first game 5-4, winning last night 2-1, took everything to win, right? So maybe their biorhythms could be off. I know this sounds like a science fiction show type thing, but you know what I'm saying, right? I do believe in that stuff. And again, I always talk about that handicapper that I first, when I first came into the industry, we had one handicapper. That's all he based his picks on was biorhythms, the human body bio clock. And it was pretty interesting when you saw some of the stuff he came up with. But again, I do like the over in this one. I do have a system on Seattle. Again, I'm not going to recommend you lay 215. But if you're going to throw a parlay and you want to throw the Seattle in the mix, home favorites that split the first two games of a series. All right, so this is game 3 of a series. So Texas won game 1, Seattle won game 2. So home favorites that split the first two games of series, and the home favorite won the last game by 1 run, and they're facing an opponent with a 31 to 40% win percentage, 11-2 the last 2 years. So pretty good system right there on the Seattle Mariners. But again, I'm not saying bet Seattle at minus 215. Maybe parlay them with something else, right? If you're going to play a parlay. But pretty good system right there. All right, let's go to game between the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta, not the Falcons, but the Atlanta Braves. I do have another system I'm going to share with you guys on this game. Normally at the end of the show, I like to share my top 2 or 3 betting systems. We went 2-1 with our top systems yesterday. Now, Cincinnati coming off, this is a tough loss for, if you're a Cincy fan last night, and, Votto hits that 3-run shot in the top of the 9th to tie the game. And, man, you had to feel good if you're a Reds better last night. And then you go to extra innings, and then, you couldn't keep the lead. 8-6 final for Atlanta. Kyle Muller going to go up against Vladimir Gutierrez today of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the Braves, a 140 favorite. The over-under set at 10. Forecast, going to leave with Atlanta here, 5.1 to 3.8. The over-under at 9.01. And you look at Atlanta, since the Ronald Acuna Jr. injury, they've been playing a lot of better baseball, right? 8-2 in their last 10, 6-4 for Cincinnati. Now, looking at the look-ahead situation for both these teams, I like Atlanta's spot a little bit better. They're going at Washington, facing a team that, on the trade deadline had a little bit of a fire sale. And you got Cincinnati going to Philly. And Cincinnati now on a 3-game losing streak. That's tough to lose that game last night if you are Cincinnati, losing the first 2 games of the series. And I got a system I'm going to share with you guys in just near the end of the show. But looking at my line on the game, I had the Braves at minus 112. But look at this. I had the Reds at minus 148. So minus 148 is a pretty good line. If you like Cincinnati, good value, you're getting plus 130 today. And let's take a look at some of their numbers. 30-27. The one thing you want to do anytime you're betting, I try to always bet on teams with winning records, right? And Cincinnati, looking at their record, 61-54 on the year. I just want to confirm that, 61-54. But look at this, 30-27 on the road. So you got to respect that they got a good home and away record, so they're very consistent. Road underdog, 22-20, which is very respectable, right? Compared, look at Atlanta as a home favorite, 26-26 on 500. And take a look at some of the stats down here. Cincinnati coming off a loss this year on the road, 14-14, and 9-9 against Southpaws this season on the road. 8-4 when they're coming off a loss in Game 2 of a series. For Atlanta, coming off a win, 15-19. So you can see not consistent coming off a win for the Atlanta Braves. But I think Atlanta might be in a good spot here tonight. And I will show you my system. I'll tip my hat right there. I got a nice little system on Atlanta. But I will get to that one. All right, let's go to the Field of Dreams game. This is going to be an interesting matchup here today between the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. We all saw the layout there. I believe it's at Iowa. The Field of Dreams set. And you got Andrew Heaney going up against Lance Romance. Now, Lance Lynn. I always like to give these guys nicknames, right? The burly right-hander. Love Lance Lynn. Loved him when he was in Texas. He just poor Lance Lynn. Everywhere he goes, the bullpen seems to like just follow him, right? You get these games where he crushes it, and then the bullpen comes in and just loses it. But been okay this year for Lance. In fact, when I look at his record on the season, 10-3 ERA at 2.04, and Andrew Heaney 7-8, 5.45 ERA, and looking at the line on the game, minus 165 is what I'm seeing here on the Chicago White Sox. Let me compare with Bookmaker, see what they got. Yeah, 165. 6-4 the last 10 for the White Sox. Now, Chicago losing 1-0 to the Minnesota Twins. Now, we talked about the Twinkies earlier in the week, saying they're one of the best underdogs the last 30 days. In fact, look at this. They won 1-0 yesterday, 4-3 the day before. They lost the first one to Lucas Giolito, but they took 2-3 against the White Sox. New York, same situation. They took 2-3 against the Royals, winning 5-2 yesterday. Now going to this game, New York 7-3 in their last 10. My line minus 145 for the New York Yankees. You're getting value on both these teams. The percentage play, the chances of winning, 54% for the White Sox, 39 for the New York Yankees. I do like the White Sox here tonight. I have a nice system I'm going to share with you guys in just a few minutes, and it will be on this game right here. All right, let's take a look at some of the stats and trends on the Yankees and I don't know about the total because this field, it's going to be new to everybody. So I'm not going to touch the total in this game, but I do have a better feeling on the side. All right, got some questions here in the bullpen. And let's see what people are saying. Rays on the side is getting worse, says Ryan McGee. It's over the last 2 good games. Chances to ride that. Rays TTO, total over, I guess. That Seattle lineup is below average. Yeah. No, but you know what? Seattle, San Francisco, who had that at the beginning of the year, right, Ryan? Seattle and San Francisco, 2 under-the-radar teams. And if you've followed the show the last couple of years, I say it always at the beginning of the year. There's always 1 or 2 teams that no one believes in at the beginning of the year, and all they do is all they do is win, right? And to me, those 2 teams this year is San Fran and Seattle, and they're just the teams that know, that uncomfortable pick. I always talk about that in sports betting. There's that uncomfortable pick you make all the time, and normally, if you get that uncomfortable pick, that's a good thing because that means you're going against probably the betting public, and that's another good thing because you're swimming against the current, right? It's contrarian way thinking, but that's how you make some money, right? All right, VI is a nice indicator. The value, there's Ed Drake, my buddy from the East Coast. Yeah, the VI is a nice indicator. You talk about the value index. So what Eddie's talking about right here is the DMVI. And what you want to do is, this is my line that I make every day, and I compare it to the bookmaker's line to see if I have value. And it's a good way to see. And you know what? You got to really give it 14 days. Like, you can't just do it today and say, it doesn't work. It does work, right? You got to give it 14 days and find a way. Like, I saw somebody made a post in the YouTube channel comment section saying that they've created their own little chart. So, and I think what he said is he takes the DMVI, the chance of winning, the Kogo, and some of the edges, And if he has enough check marks, then he thinks that's a strong play, right? And that's what I call performance cycles. You got to go get those cycles, have a confidence level and some type of system that you believe in, and then that's how you can, become your own system of handicapping, right? But I'll come back to this game between the White Sox. I do have a nice side play on this game. All right, let's go to Toronto against the LA Angels. I had the over in this game last night as one of our top plays. Actually, it was one of our parlay plays. I had Seattle and the over in the Angels and Blue Jay game, and it was a nice winner. And I had Oakland as a 5-star best bet. And if you ever want to get our top plays, so you go right here, picks, MLB picks, and you'll see, I still think, so we had Oakland last night as our 5-star play. I had the over as our 4-star over-under, didn't win. Tampa Bay, pooped the bed right there. I had Seattle and the over in the Blue Jay game last night. That was my 2-team parlay. And the Dodgers was our system play of the day. So if you ever want to get a membership here at atsstats.com, all you got to do is go under picks, or on the right side column, go to MLB picks. I will post my top plays each and every day, and then my premium picks will be up here. You can get also. But if you ever wonder, how do I get his picks and the ATS stats picks, that's a good way to do it right there. All right, let's go back to the game between the Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Angels. Twins are a silver bullet. I love that, Tony C. Hey, the silver bullet play of the day, right? Twins beat Houston and Chicago. Hit that like button, folks. Yeah, Real Rich Sports says hit that like button. Always appreciate some love here. If you guys, again, the show only gets better with the more you guys participate in the bullpen. And, I love characters, right? If you got people with a good sense of humor and you got some good sarcasm, well, you're okay in my books if you got that sense of humor, right? You need a good sense of humor in life. All right, Shohei Ohtani going up against Jose Barrios. What a great pickup for the Toronto. I couldn't even believe they got him. And they got him for good. They lost some draft picks, but, man, what a great pickup for the Toronto Blue Jays. I thought the Blue Jays did one of the best jobs at the trade deadline. Now, Barrios going against Shohei Ohtani. What a great pitching matchup this is going to be. 5 to 4.99. Look at that. Look how close this is going to be, right? 9.99. A little Gretzky right there on the total. 8.5 is the over-under tonight. So we do like it to go over the total. Blue Jays 8-2 in their last 10. 5-4-1 to the over. Minus 148 is the line I have. And you can see 130. So we don't use the word locked. Why don't they lock down? Where will there be a lockdown? Hey, that's one thing we don't post in the bullpen is the word lock, right? I think that's a jinx word. Superstitious, right? Which better is not superstitious? 125 is the line I had on the LA Angels. 120. So if you like the Angels tonight, you're getting good fair market value. First pitch tonight in the LA is at 9:38. I never understood that. Why? That's like what, 6:38 Disneyland time or something? Or I don't know. 9-15 against B-type teams. And let me see. I do have a system on the Blue Jays. So the Toronto Blue Jays playing the fourth game of the series against the LA Angels. Road favorites coming off a game where they scored 10 or more runs in their last game, and they're playing in the fourth game of a series. 27-13 straight up. Now, I can't remember if that was this year or total. Let me go back to my database. So I'm going to go road favorites, fourth game of a series, and they scored 10 runs or more. I think it's this series, this season. No, maybe it's the last, or maybe since 1996. Sounds like a 96 stat to me. Yeah, 22-7. Wow, look at that. So let me recap that. Any away favorites, like the Toronto Blue Jays, playing the fourth game of a series, scored 10 or more run, or, oh no, that was 10 or more run win. No, let me go, scored a 10 run here. I almost gave you a wrong stat right there. All right, let me go up here. Scored 10 or more runs in our last game. There we go. 73-40. 73-40 since 1996. And let me see this season. Maybe that's why it didn't work out the first time I had the 10 or run win. All right, let me do this season. No, maybe it's the last 5. Last 5 years. 15-11. Okay, maybe I had since 96. I think since 96 works a little bit better. Run last 10 game, fourth game of a series. Yeah, 73-40. Pretty good solid system right there. So if you like the Toronto Blue Jays, I think that's a pretty solid one right there. There's Derek Para. How you doing, Derek? Isaiah says, I'm over again. Fits my system. What's your system, Isaiah? Isaiah says it fits. Doesn't get that membership, guys. Yeah, John X, how you doing? And let me see here. All right, so Toronto Blue Jays. So, here again, right? Perception versus reality. What's the perception going into this game? So the perception is you got a high-powered offense in the Toronto Blue Jays, all those young guns. Now, you got Berrios against Shohei Ohtani. Now, the line is 8.5, right? And let's take a look at, so one thing I want to look at here. Let me go to Jose Berrios' last few starts. So let me go to Berrios. Jose Berrios, where are you? Jose. All right, here we go. Jose Berrios. I know he's here somewhere. There he is. All right, let's take it to Jose Berrios. Let's go last 7 starts this season. All right, let me see, last 7. And look at the over-under. 7, 8.5, 9, 7, 8, 9. So it averaged out to 9. That's pretty good. 1-6, though. That's scary. Look at that. Jose Berrios' last 6 starts for his teams, 1-6. Ouch. That's scary right there, right? Let's take a look at Shohei Ohtani. Last 7 starts. Man, it's a good thing I looked at that because I was really feeling good about the Blue Jays. But until I saw all right, Ohtani's last 7 starts, 5-2. Yeah, you know what? There could be value here on the underdog, on the home underdog. Man, it's a good thing I looked at Berrios stat right there. Toronto Blue Jays on the road, coming off a road win as a favorite, 2-5. Just want to see the time, 59 minutes. All right, we're getting close. The Blue Jays, second game, no, let me see here. Against a team, 8-1 though. The Blue Jays with a team that 41 to 50% win percentage. That's pretty solid right there. The 4-4 for Anaheim, coming off a home loss as an underdog. 15-12 coming off a loss. You know what? I think I know the system does favor the Blue Jays. Maybe it's a pass. I think I might just pass that game. But yeah. Anyway, I see some more questions here. The system I emailed you on. Oh, yeah, that's right. He emailed me, I believe, a game scoring 8 or 9 runs, around 62%, says Isaiah, and coming off 2 overs. Thank you so much for all the hard work. I love watching your show, says Sam Burley. All right, Sam, thank you for the comment. Appreciate that. All right, so yeah, so this game between the Blue Jays and the Angels, I got a small lean because of that Berrios start record, 1-6 in the last 7. That's not too good. He's not getting run support, but look at this. So if you look at Berrios' last few starts, 1-4, but look at the run support. He's not getting any run support, only 2.4, but that's Minnesota, right? Yeah, I think this might be a game I with all the favorites coming in, it's almost it's tough to handicap that game. It's gonna be a tough one. All right, San Diego against Arizona. Man, San Diego took it on the chin yesterday, 7-0 against, what was it, Colorado or Miami? I think it was Miami. They lost 7-0, right? 7-0. Sandy Alcantara, right? Made a good made a good start, and that's their ace, right? So Alcantara really gave it to the Padres yesterday. Now, Yu Darvish going up against Taylor Widener today of the San Diego Padres. Looking at the line, 240 on San Diego. Wow. My over-under set at 9. Forecast going to lean with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Wow, 4.59, 3.87. The over-under at 8.46. Now, perception versus reality, right? What's the perception going into this game? Now, the perception that I have is that you got Yu Darvish going in. They're 15-7. Taylor Widener. I'm going to take a look at Taylor Widener's last few starts. And 1-1, 4.89 ERA. And if you look at his last couple of starts, 5 innings against San Diego. So the last time he played was against San Diego. 4 hits, 2 runs, ERA of 4.89. And for San Diego, 6-4 in the last 10. Arizona 2-8. Arizona's a bad team. They're on a 4-game lose streak. There's a small lean to San Diego in the perception versus reality, but it just, hopefully your betting senses come in and say, I can't lay that number on any team, right? Minus 240. But I do have a system on the over. I do have a system on the over. Road favorites coming off a 7-run loss the last 2 years. 21, 11, and 1 to the over. So I do like the over in this game tonight, guys. I think the over might be worth a look. And road teams coming off a 6-game homestand, 44, 27, and 2 to the over. So that's pretty good information right there. And let me see if there's anything else. 31. So for Arizona, coming off a night game, 31, 16, and 2 to the over when they're at home. And the last 30 days, 7, 5, and 1 at home for Arizona. So, yeah, I do like the over in this game. I'm not going to touch the side, but I think the over is where you want to go. And Colorado against San Francisco. Now, I was listening to the game yesterday between, I believe it was Arizona, or was it San Diego? Yeah, it was San Diego against Miami. The announcers on the radio made a great point. If you're a fan of the Arizona Diamondbacks, think about this. You're Arizona. You're at home. You're playing probably in front of family and friends. There's no really atmosphere. But once you get to a place like San Diego, LA, and there's a good atmosphere because obviously the home team, like the winning teams, are winning. Maybe those type of teams like Arizona, Pittsburgh, that's what their incentive is, right? They're playing in front of a full house. They got nothing to really. The season's gone, and they know that when they play at home it's crickets. So maybe, next time you're considering a team like Pittsburgh, Arizona, those type of losing teams that really have poor home attendance and they're playing those top teams, think about that angle. I think that was a really good observation by those radio announcers. I love listening to radio baseball. I don't know if you guys are the same way. Like I go on my walks every day and I listen to some of the baseball games, and some of these baseball announcers make it a lot of fun and very think about it. The play-by-play guys are around the team all the time, right? You can get some of your best information around the baseball play-by-play guys. So if there's another tip I want to give you guys, listen to radio games instead of always the TV. The radio guys, man, some of these guys are very sharp. And think about it. They're always around the team, right? They're always around the team. They're always picking up information, and you can learn a lot from some of the, especially when you get an analyst who's an ex-player. It gives you great insights on that. So another little tip there from the Raymond Report. All right, last game of the day, we're going to look at Colorado taking on the San Francisco Giants. Now, Logan Webb going up against German Marquez. When I see Logan Webb and I think of, was it Logan Gilbert of Seattle? They just remind me of the same type of, obviously they got the same name, but both pitchers having a heck of a year, right? Logan Webb, 11-5 for the Giants when he starts on the year. German Marquez going for Colorado. They're 14-9 in his starts. 163 is the price tag. And look at the over-under, 7.5. 7.5. I do have a system here on San Francisco, but again, I'm not, 163. You can probably talk about that one. I like radio hockey, says Del Hallett. Yeah, a lot of great radio guys too. Radio, I know people are talking, it's like a dinosaur age right now because everybody's into podcasts and stuff like that. But don't quit on radio guy. Radio guy in baseball, hockey, play-by-play, some of the sharpest dudes, and because they're around the teams, right? They just they have their finger on the pulse. 5.71, 3.8. The over/under at 9.51. San Francisco's last 8 games, 8-2 straight up in the last 10. 4-4-2 to the over/under. Colorado now. Colorado. Let me see the last 10 road games for Colorado. I know like they're Jekyll and Hyde when it comes to the home and away. Let's see Colorado in their last 10. For some reason, I want to think they're playing a little bit better on the road these days. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. 3-7. I don't know. For some reason, I thought they were playing a little bit better. 13-42 on the road this year. Not a good record. And let's take a look at some of the stats going into tonight. 8-21 against division opponents on the road. 9-27 off loss. Yeah. San Francisco. Again, perception versus reality. You got a team like the home teams against Colorado this year. 42-13. Okay. How do you obviously what I just said was what the road record for Colorado, so that's doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, right? Hey, thought I slipped one by the goalie there, but I think you guys are sharp enough to get that. So here's the system. Home favorites of 160 to 180, coming off a 5-run win the last 3 years versus an opponent that has a 41 to 50% win percentage, 15-3. 15-3. So again, a little chalky at 163. But say you take that system with the other system I gave you on the other one was really chalky. What was it? Was Seattle? Hey, Seattle and San Fran, a 2-team parlay, could be worth a look, eh? All right, here's the 3 system plays of the day that I got for you guys. System play number 1. So I'm going to go to my database right here, and I'm going to pull out the first system for you guys. And we're going to go away favorites. 4-0. Okay, coming off a 4-0 win in their last game. So they scored 4 runs last game, and they allowed 0 runs against. So coming off 4 runs, 0 runs against. Where's the 0? Okay, and let's go the last 2 years. So down here. So here's the system. Away favorites that won 4-0 in their last game. What's the record in the next game? 15-3, and that is the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals system play number 1, minus 118. Pretty good number right there. System play number 2. Let's go to that Cincinnati-Atlanta game. Home favorites. So that split the first 2 games of a series. Or not, actually, they won the first 2 games. No, wait. Won first 2 games of a series. That's it. So they won the first 2 games of a series. Atlanta's won the first 2. The last 5 years. All right. And they scored 8 runs in their last game. Survey says 49-24. 49-24 for the home team. So if you do like the Atlanta Braves here tonight, that's a pretty solid stat right there. 49-24 for the Braves. And system number 3, let's go to the Field of Dreams game between the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. And we're going to play. So I'm not going to do home favorites because there isn't really no home here tonight or away. They're both, so it's either favorite or underdog. So coming off a series loss. So Chicago is coming off a series loss. Hopefully I can find this in a timely fashion right here. I think it's up here somewhere. Come on, Ron. Series loss. I think it's up here. Crap. Just when you want something quick, you start searching all over the place, right? Series loss. Where are you? Oh, here it is. Good. All right. Series loss. And they scored 0 runs in their last game. Chicago White Sox scored 0 runs in their last games. And let's go back. Wonder if it's this season. I did my homework this morning, but sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. Let me see here. Current season. So I think it's this season. Favorites coming off a series loss. So they lost against Minnesota, and they scored 17-6. 17-6 for the favorites. So give me the Chicago White Sox. Again, the system is this. Favorites coming off a series loss. So they lost 2 of 3 to the Twins, and they scored 0 runs in the last game. The favorite in this game is 17-6 straight up. So recap your system plays today. We like the St. Louis Cardinals, system play number 1. Atlanta, system play number 2. And the Chicago White Sox, system play number 3. And again, I'm going to, the word of the day is cautious because, anytime I give system plays on a day where the favorites are very bullish like they are right now, I just get a little hesitant. So maybe instead of 5 units, you maybe bet 1 or 2 units on those plays, but be very careful. All right, let's go to bullpenpicks.com. This is where I put in my picks of the day, and I'm gonna go with the New York Mets here in this one. Not like the Mets, don't love the Mets. Hey, love the Mets, kick the Mets. St. Louis taking on the Bucks. I'm gonna go with an underdog here. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go with St. Louis. I'm gonna go with that system play, 56%. I'm gonna go with the Dodgers to sweep. I really like the Dodgers, 67%. Cleveland against Oakland. Cleveland, you got Chris Bassett against. It's tough to go against a team that's on a 6-game win streak. 55%. I'm gonna go Milwaukee all day. 64%. I'm gonna take a flyer on Baltimore. I'm gonna go with John Means, and I say flyer, and he's a home favorite, right? But you got 2 bad teams. Tampa Bay, Boston. I got that good system on the. I hate going against Tampa Bay because it could be like 9-1 in the 8th, and they'll score like 10 runs in the 9th. That's the type of ringers they are. I like Seattle in this one, 64%. Cincinnati, Atlanta. I do like Atlanta. I'm going to go with Chicago White Sox, Lance Lynn, 65%. I'm going to go with Shohei Ohtani here. I'm going to go home underdog, 55%. I'm going to take San Diego, 55%. And I'm going to go with San Fran at 58. Survey says. And those are my plays each and every day you can follow. Now, if you go to bullpenpicks.com and you want to follow my picks, go to most followed. And you'll look for the Expos logo. Ron Raymond right here, Ronnie Ray. And you can follow my picks. And you want to follow everybody. Eddie O, Mags, Vowo, Muss, Stoller. These are all guys that, there's a reason why they're most followed, right? Is because they win. And you go to your following page right here. And then you can see everybody's made their pick. There's Musk. Hey, he's made a selection. Then every time I'm following. So see Madjar, 425. He gets the boot. Sorry, Madge. You don't cut it. You get the old Raymond boot right there, right? And then I'll pick up someone else who's hot, and then I'll compare my picks with somebody who's hot, and then you can form your own little. So you're going with Oakland. Yeah, I do like Oakland here today. I do like Oakland. It's tough to go against Chris Bassett and the team that's on a 6, but I like the under a little bit better in that game. Tamara, I do like the under a bit better in that game here today. All right, before I go, with any questions? This is a pretty good show. If you guys agreed, hit the like button here today. Again, I always try to keep these shows under an hour. It's almost impossible. There's so much information. But, hey, if you guys enjoy it and you're all sticking around, well, why not, right? The more the merrier. And let me see here. Cool, great job. Wow, nice Cardinals. Braves over. White Sox feel like the play. I agree, Isaiah. I agree. I do like Chicago White Sox. Plus, you got, a guy going up for the Cy Young in Lance Lynn. And it's a showcase game, right? The whole world will be watching. This is where I feel Lance Romance will be shining tonight in the Field of Dreams. Again, folks, if you want to take advantage of our memberships here and you want to get my picks and you want to get the Raymond Report, use promo code FB21. FB, just so you see at the top here. Promo code FB21. And you can get 20% off your next membership package just by using that promo code. You'll get all my selections for baseball, NFL. Speaking of NFL, yeah, I've told you guys I'll give you a pick tonight in the game between, I like Washington, the Washington Football Club. I do like Washington over New England. I believe the line is now -2, but if you want to pay the extra juice, take the money line. And I do like Washington as my free play today. NFL Week 1, right? I don't bet a lot of NFL preseason is because I just like to feel it out, right? I just like to see, because when you're betting preseason, things change in a matter of minutes. You think the starting quarterback's starting, next thing you know, he's not. He's playing one quarter, he's playing 2 quarters. Some coaches want to win, some don't. That's why I just don't have enough time to do the research on all that stuff, right? I'd rather just get right there. Finally out of bed. Great show. Finally, Eddie's, he must be a shift worker, eh, Eddie? He says he's just finally getting out of bed. All right. How do you feel about NRFI in the White Sox game? What does NRFI mean, Bobby? You gotta really let me know what that means. No runs for, I don't know. What does NRFI stand for? Teach an old dog a new trick here. Tell me what it's all about. Cardinals -135 says Ryan McGee, and I have no idea what NRFI means. How do you feel about NRFI in the White Sox game? Does anybody know what that means? NRFI? Survey says. All right. No runs first inning. Oh, okay. No runs first inning. Yeah, you know what? You got Andrew Heaney, right? That's the only thing that concerns me right there. New Park. It's the Yankees. Day off. Family day. No runs first inning. What's the line on the game? No runs first inning. Yeah, what's the line? And here's the thing. I would probably play no runs because you got a Chicago White Sox team who coming off a 0 runs yesterday. And if you look at the Chicago White Sox the last couple of games, what's been their scores the last few games, right? Let me go take a look here. Chicago White Sox. fact, look at this. Where did I see 0.67? No, I didn't see that. All right. So, yeah, they only scored 3 runs on the 10th. Yeah, I'd probably go under. I wouldn't, no runs first inning. I would take that bet, Bobby. I do like that. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day. I'll be back on Friday with another Raymond Report right here at atsstats.com or the YouTube channel. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. And thanks for watching the show, and I'll